Hey guys, back again. This is going to be a bit of a public service announcement. Number one is that the cost of postage stamps, the regular first class postage stamps, they're going to be going up August 29th, I believe. So the end of this month, real soon, they're going to be going up from 55 cents to 58 cents. So I use a lot of these for my business and to write through the mail autographs. So just a little announcement, make sure you guys are aware of that. The second thing is when you're looking for postage stamps. So I had an issue a few years ago. If you're looking for discount postage, I had an issue a few years ago where I bought rolls of stamps that looked just like this, just a regular roll. This one I got at the post office a few days ago. You're looking to get postage a little cheaper, and there are a lot of these for sale on eBay. I'm sure there's other sites as well that have these things for sale. They'll come in rolls or they'll be in sheets, whatever. But a few years ago, I was looking to get cheaper postage, and I looked on eBay, and there was a lot of these, like I said, and everything looked legit. And I bought a couple rolls. I think I started off with sheets actually, so I bought probably 100 stamps total. I used them all, had no issues whatsoever. Then I bought a couple rolls, probably 2 rolls, so 200 stamps, and I still had some concerns, so I actually took them to my local post office, and she scanned that barcode, and everything came up normal. And she looked at them. She said, "These are okay. These are good." And she's someone that's worked for the post office for a long time. She's probably been there 30 years or more. So I felt like, okay, these are real. So the next time I bought stamps, I think I bought 2,000 of them, and I think I paid around $900 for them. So quite a bit of money, a lot of stamps, obviously. So I started using them. I probably used them for a month, and I was sending out a lot of requests, probably 100 a week, something like that. So a lot of requests for autographs. And then so after about a month of using them, I probably used around 500 or so, 100 a week, something like that, maybe more. But I got a call from, so our local distribution center here for the post office is about 20 miles from here. And I got a call from the postmaster of that distribution center, and he wanted to talk to me. He did tell me that I was using counterfeit stamps, and I was, I was surprised by that, to say the least. Because like I said, I had been using these. I actually took them into the post office. No issues whatsoever. So I went there, I brought what I had left, which is quite a few. There was several rolls of these, and then he had a stack of letters. So what I think is that they noticed like all these letters coming in from the same address, my address, and they may have gotten suspicious, I guess, and then checked them out, because I did ask them. I asked him, do they have a system in place to tell whether these are legit or not? And he was pretty vague, but he did say, yeah, we know when they're fake. But I had been using them for a few months now, 3-4 months already, and until I sent out a ton, I had no issues. So when I sent out a lot, I think that kind of put a red flag out, and then they checked them. So he said something about like ultraviolet light or something, black light or something like that can tell. But I highly doubt that their machines, they're either not accurate or they don't actually, they just noticed that I had all these coming out. Sending out. So anyways, I gave him the information I had. I gave him the stamps I had, and I never heard back from him. I highly doubt anything happen with that, because so I went on today on eBay and looked to see if there are still sellers selling these kind of rolls of stamps. I'm sure there's sheets as well being sold, but I just looked for, it only took me a minute and I found what I believe is to be counterfeit. So what I saw was, I was thinking about taking a picture or putting a link in the description below, but you know, I could do that. I don't know, maybe I'll get flagged or something, but I could do that, but that account isn't going to be up for very long. I can almost guarantee that. So you're going to have to look for specific clues onto what is counterfeit. And personally, I would just go to your local post office and buy stamps. I would just avoid this because it's not worth the trouble. You're going to save a little bit of money and it's really not worth it. So what you're going to look for is you'll see a seller that has 100% feedback, but they're not going to have that much feedback. They're going to have, like the seller I saw today, they only had 25 feedback and they had 3 listings. Well, these 3 listings, you could buy as many of these as you wanted to. You know, you could buy whatever you wanted, and they had 3 listings, and the only thing they were selling were these. So what happens is eventually someone's going to figure out that they're selling the counterfeit stamps. And this would probably go for anything that's counterfeit. You know, eventually, you know, people are going to get their stamps, they're going to use them, they're going to get through, but eventually they're going to get flagged as being counterfeit. So as soon as they get a message saying, hey, you're selling counterfeit stamps, well, they're going to take their account down, you know, they're going to just disappear. So that's what happened with me. I went back and tried to find the seller and he was gone. And then by the time I was using all these, it was more than 60 days, because I called eBay and said, hey, I want a refund for what I have left. You know, I used some, but I have all these left. You know, I had whatever it was, 1,400 stamps or something like that. You know, I want a refund for that, and you guys need to address this issue, because this is not okay. This, you know, other people have to go through the same situation. You're having criminals on here, a criminal element selling stuff on eBay, which is, you know, you're always going to have that, but you should do whatever you can as a company to avoid those things. Because if that happens to the average person who doesn't really even use eBay that much, obviously they're not going to use it again. And you don't want that kind of stuff on there in the first place. But so what I did was, you know, I said, you know, you guys need to try to find the seller. I want a refund. And they just said, well, it's past the 60 days. So that was that. I was pretty upset, you know, obviously, but there was nothing they would do. So then if you guys run into a situation, don't stop there. Next, I went to PayPal, because I use PayPal for everything. And I called the guy and I explained the situation. It was literally, I was on the phone for maybe 5 minutes and they gave me a complete refund. So, you know, if you guys, I say eBay is good for selling things, you know, it's another option for you to sell stuff. It's a better option for certain things than, say, Amazon or whatever. But, you know, I would just use PayPal for everything, because they have a really good return policy and the coverage for buyers. Make sure you're using PayPal, I would say that. And, you know, I would just go to PayPal. I would avoid eBay altogether. If you have an issue, just go with buying something. I would just, if it's past the 60-day mark, that's the way it was back when this happened. I'm assuming it's still like that. I haven't had any issues with that lately, but so that's it. You know, just like I said, I would avoid buying things like stamps on eBay, just because you're going to save a little bit of money. It's not worth the risk. So that's what I have for you guys today. Remember, the stamp increase the 29th. Please leave a comment below, questions, concerns, like the video, subscribe. If you know anybody else that might like my content, please let them know. And thanks for watching.